Hi everyone, I'm back with another video today. The past 2 weeks I only uploaded my video for one of my finals for class. Thank you for sticking with me through finals week and everything. I didn't really have time to film, but hopefully I can get back into uploading once a week. In today's video, I will be answering questions that you guys sent me about having a service dog and being in a sorority. So I wrote down the most common questions and I'm going to try to answer them as best as I can. Okay, so the first question I was asked is it uncomfortable at first introducing yourself and your service dog? Are people understanding? So at the school that I go to, we don't have like the typical Greek life. We don't have housing. We only have 4 sororities and none of them are national, which means that the sororities we have are specific to my school. And so in addition to that, my school is very, very small and most people know that I have Wes just because how small the school is and who I am. So I don't have to explain or introduce Wes as much as I would think someone at a bigger school would have to introduce themselves, which is kind of a benefit, I would say, because everyone just kind of knows us. So I wasn't really uncomfortable introducing Wes. I was a little nervous obviously with how I would be perceived and if Wes would be seen as a negative and that would like prevent me from getting a bid. But all of the girls in my sorority were very understanding and I really appreciated that. Next question. Do you live in the same house as everyone? Is Wes like everyone's dog with you being the primary caretaker? So as I just mentioned, we don't have housing, which means we all live in like separate dorms. So Wes just lives with me. I can't really speak to how Greek housing would work because I just don't have experience with it. And then to the second part of the question, is Wes like everyone's dog with me being the primary caretaker? No. He's very much mine and like my friends do play with him and everything, but he's very much mine. Like even in my house where I am now at home, he's very much my dog. Like he kind of just follows me around everywhere. He stays in whatever room I'm in, just like naturally, him being him. All of his stuff is in my room. His care and health are totally up to me. I'm the one who feeds him. I'm the one who grooms him. Obviously my family will occasionally play with him and like they'll pet him throughout the day, but he's very much my dog. How did you handle recruitment/rush? And did they give everyone a heads up? Okay, so for rush, I was fortunate because, again, my school is very small, and so rush is a little bit different. It's not like as kind of big and like, not crazy, but I would say maybe like overwhelming or fast-paced as in other schools with maybe Greek housing and larger student populations. And the fact that everyone kind of like knew who I was already definitely helped because they would like assume that Wes would come and they would assume that he would be there. And once we were paired with members of the sorority already who were like in charge of informing us when rush events were, I would reach out to them and they would kind of reach out to me telling me kind of what was up and if it would be safe for Wes to come. I also at the time reached out to the president at the time of the sorority and kind of gave her some information that would be beneficial to like what I can do, what Wes can do. It was great. And again, did they give everyone a heads up? I think so. And when I was rushing, I had friends who were already in the sorority, so I think that really helped because they kind of knew what was going on and what to do, what not to do. So I think that was very beneficial because they kind of like knew and set an example about how to help me or how to interact with Wes. So yeah. Next question. What do the other girls think of your service dog? So here I am going to insert some screenshots. I asked some of my sisters to text me their opinion of me and Wes, and to be honest. And so I'm gonna put them up and give you a little bit of time to read them. Yeah, I do kind of get a feel for when like people don't really like dogs as much, and I kind of like make sure that Wes doesn't overwhelm them or anything, because often if we're not in an official activity, I will let Wes like off duty and like to say hi to everyone. So that's something to keep in mind. And if you want to finish reading the text, you can always pause it. But I'm gonna go on to the next question to save time. How did you handle pledging? Obviously, I received a bid, which I was very excited for, and pledging was difficult but very doable for me. And as all Greek organizations, I can't tell you details about like the sorority or the process that we do, but essentially our pledging is a month and a half long, as opposed to maybe like 1 week of very intense pledging that they do at bigger schools. Before pledging started, I spoke with the president of my sorority and the 2 girls in charge of pledging, and so they would give me a heads up as to what activities Wes could attend and be comfortable and safe, or if like something was super quick and maybe Wes would not be as safe. So they would kind of give me a heads up, which I really appreciated because obviously like I needed to know for his safety. And yeah, everyone kind of understood, like all the girls I was pledging with understood, and I think / I hope Wes was helpful to my sisters who were pledging the same time as me, and I hope he offered like some comfort and everything. But yeah, I think the biggest thing was that I got a little bit I wasn't even like notified significantly before other girls, but they would be like, definitely bring Wes. Do you ever take Wes to parties / how do you handle drunk people? No, I do not bring Wes to like real parties. I don't bring him to bars. I don't bring him to anything like that. I will sometimes bring him to like pre-games, but those are usually like my group of friends. Like they're not big pre-games, like we're all just like kind of hanging out and getting ready in someone's room. So depending on the night, sometimes I will bring him, and my friends are all great with him regardless of if they've been drinking, but I don't trust the general public, even sober, so I do not really bring him to environments where he will interact with drunk people. There are like a few instances where I have like stayed in for the night and I'm sober and I'm walking around with Wes like getting bite to eat late at night and we encounter drunk people, and I've only had good experiences. Everyone just kind of like says how cute he is, and like I think the comments do increase a lot, but we haven't been around drunk people enough together for anything like bad or scary or like upsetting to happen. So, do I take Wes to chapter / meeting / meals? Yes, so I do take him to chapter, which is once a week. I take him to meals. I mean, he usually comes to the dining halls with me, and like regardless of who I'm going with, and he comes off campus out to eat with me and everything. He basically accompanies me to everything besides parties, and like again, like big parties. If it's just like our society kind of hanging out one night, then I would bring him. What events do you take him to? This is kind of similar to the last question, but also someone asked about rush events. Now that I'm in the society and other girls are rushing, he does come to rush events, and honestly, like, the new girls really didn't try to like pet him or anything, which was really great. And Wes is obviously vested, which helps because it says like do not pet and stuff like that. But yeah, he came with me to those. And again, like if we were having a rush event at night, then I wouldn't bring him if it was more of like a party setting. Have I taken Wes to a formal? So I've been to 2 formals with my sorority, and no, I have not brought Wes to either, largely because of the environment and the safety of Wes, and also because like a lot of my good friends are also in this sorority with me, so they like know how to help me if I need it. But yeah, I just don't feel that it's an overall safe environment for Wes to be in. So for the last 2 formals, I've had very good friends babysit Wes for me. I'm sure you guys know Juliana with Romeo. She's babysat Wes for me, I think for the most recent one, just because I don't want to leave him alone for so long. Okay, so those were all the most common questions I received regarding having Wesley and being in a sorority. I just want to kind of reiterate that I am fortunate enough to not feel judged, and I'm fortunate enough to have received a bid to join the society. I am very, very happy that I am in this sorority, and that's not something I ever thought I would say, but I regretted not rushing so much that I actually did it a year late, and I'm so proud of myself for rushing, because that's such like a social experience and you really have to put yourself out there. Like, you have to talk to all these people that you don't know, and you have to make like a good first impression and everything, and so I'm really proud of myself for that. And then being in the society really gives me a sense of belonging, and that's something that I really enjoy having in my life. Again, like all sororities, fraternities, clubs, organizations, they're all very different from each other, and so I know that my experience in my sorority can be very different from other people's experiences in my sorority or in others, but I am very grateful and I'm very lucky that my society is such a great group of girls who really value like the sisterhood and being there for one another and just being good people. So yeah, I hope I answered your questions. If you have any more questions, as always, you can leave them down below and I will try my best to answer them. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching.